Spike Lee is one of those directors that I don't feel gets enough credit for his body of work, because when he's on his game, he's easily one of the best directors in Hollywood. What's up everybody, I'm Johnnie Omega, here with another movie review, this time talking about the new Spike Lee joint, The Five Bloods, so let's get to it. Four African-American vets battle the forces of man and nature when they return to Vietnam seeking the remains of their fallen squad leader and the gold fortune he helped them hide. So if you're new to this channel, let me first start off by saying thanks for stopping by, and in this review I'm going to talk about what I liked, what I didn't like, and then my overall thoughts of the film. So starting with what I liked about the film, let me just get this out the way first because I'm pretty sure everybody's going to have this in their review. Not only do you see the obstacles that blacks are trying to get over regarding racial tension in America, it's amazing that I'm seeing clips from the 60s and 70s that are just as applicable today. But you also see the tension regarding the Vietnam people and how they viewed the GIs during the Vietnam War. And I like how these topics were placed in the movie without being too preachy. Another thing I really liked was the interaction with the four main characters. I like how you get to know all of them and you see how they're all different, but you also see why they're such close friends. Just overall, the chemistry with the four main characters came across great on screen. And I know a lot of that falls under good writing and how that was done, but the actors still had to pull that off on screen, which leads me to another thing I liked about this movie. Acting wise, everybody did a great job. There were no weak links in this movie, but the standout was easily DelRoy Lindo. I've always liked DelRoy as an actor, but I've never really put him on that upper echelon when it comes to acting. But this performance though caught my attention. This is the best performance of the year so far, and it's not even close. And with the year being almost halfway over, I just can't imagine that many more great performances that he doesn't at least get a nomination at the Oscars. And just to go back to the writing for a second, I love how fleshed out his character was. He's the most traumatized out of all the soldiers, but as the movie progresses, you get to kind of peel back the layers of his personality and you get to really see why he is the way he is. Another thing I liked about the movie was actually something that I didn't like about it when I first saw it, but as the movie progressed, not only did it grow on me, but I actually thought it was a really good idea. When they flash back to Vietnam, they don't get four younger actors to play the soldiers, they keep those same actors to play themselves. And there's no CGI or anything to make them look younger either, it's just them. And the reason why I actually thought that that was a great idea is because the flashbacks are so sudden that when they happen, you don't have to try to figure out or remember who's who. They're the same person. And I gotta give mad props to Spike Lee specifically because the way he directed this movie and the stylistic choices that he used really helped the movie. And I'm not just talking big grand spectacle stuff either. Little things like how he changed the aspect ratio depending on what scene he was in. Just that small artistic technique really stood out to me. And I also like how he used footage from the 70s and 80s to not only paint the picture of how life was like in America, but also Vietnam. And some of that stuff was brutal to watch, but it did help put in perspective not only what racism was like back then, but also what it was like being a black soldier back then too. When you're in a war, you have to reprogram your thoughts and actions and just your brain in general with how you compute information. You're basically in survival mode, and after years of doing that, it's not easy to just take that and tuck it away and get back to civilian life. At least not for everybody. Especially when you're being forced to fight a war that you don't believe in for a country that doesn't believe in you. I can see how that can mess your head up. Now, as far as what I didn't like about the movie, there was really only one thing. The pacing of the movie slowed down a little too much from time to time, and it kind of made the movie drag a little bit. And to be perfectly honest with you, most of that revolved around a particular subplot involving one of the main characters and another woman in the movie. I fully understand what Spike Lee was trying to do with that subplot and why it was in the movie, but it was the weakest part of the movie. Now, normally I would say that that could have just been cut out, but again, I understand why Spike Lee put it in the movie, so it probably could have just been done better. The only other thing negative I would say about this movie really isn't a negative, it's more of a slight letdown. And that's the fact that I thought Chadwick Boseman's character was going to be in the movie more than he actually was. Now, after watching the movie, I think he was in there probably about the perfect amount of time, but going into it, I thought he was going to be in it a little bit more. So in conclusion, the acting was good, the writing was good, the cinematography was great, there was great dialogue, great interaction between all the characters, and there were some great scenes in the movie where you really didn't know how it was going to play out. The film is definitely not predictable, and there's a bunch of twists and turns in it that's going to keep you engaged throughout the movie. All that being said, I'd say this movie is a definite add to the Blu-ray collection. So comment below and let me know what you guys thought of the movie. And also, if this isn't your favorite Spike Lee movie, what is? Thanks for watching, and if you like what you seen, click that thumbs up and hit that subscribe button to see what we got coming next.